New details about the man shot and killed in the parking garage of Dallas Children's Hospital. How police say he duped others into thinking he was law enforcement. The jury reaches a verdict in the case of a group accused of ambushing a detention facility in Alvarado.
A WFAA weather alert day for Sunday and Monday as a strong cold front blasts through North Texas. We'll talk winds, we'll talk temps coming up.
Tough times for bars and restaurants, but why keeping the St. Patrick's Day parade alive could help keep business alive.
And we start with a developing story out of Fort Worth. A jury has come back with a verdict in the attack at an ICE detention center in Alvarado. Last 4th of July, police say a group was shooting fireworks toward the detention center. An Alvarado police officer responded to the scene and was shot in the neck. He was later released. Prosecutors argue the group was functioning as a terrorist group. Defendants have argued this all started as a protest against ICE operations in the U.S. And a jury just handed down their verdict. Scoop Jefferson is live at the federal courthouse in downtown Fort Worth with the punishment for the man accused of leading that operation.
Yeah, Izzy, a federal jury here in Fort Worth has now convicted 9 people in that July 4th, 2025 attack at the Prairie ICE Detention Center. During the week-and-a-half trial here at the courthouse, prosecutors described the group as members of a North Texas Antifa cell. The jury told the prosecutors told jurors Benjamin Song led the group to the facility last July 4th, dressed in black clothing, armed with guns, fireworks, and explosives, vandalizing property and throwing fireworks at the detention facility. Benjamin Song is now convicted of the most serious charges for shooting and injuring an Alvarado police officer who testified during the trial. The jury found Song guilty of attempted murder of a police officer, discharging a firearm, and several other charges. Guilty verdicts against his 8 co-defendants include rioting, providing material support to terrorism, along with weapons and explosive offenses. The defendants had support from family and friends throughout the trial, and their attorneys sharing their reaction after the guilty verdicts, including their clients' intentions.
They went out there to do a noise demonstration, and as I stated in my closing, showcasing some of Mahdi's statements to provide a fourth outside of the facility.
I thought she might have a chance on conspiracy. There's no way they established anything else. She was acquitted on 6 of 10 counts, which is good.
Federal prosecutors did not make any comments after the trial, but in a news release, they did say that the charges demonstrate their commitment to confront domestic terrorism. Benjamin Song now faces 20 years in prison, up to life in prison as well. He and the other 8 co-defendants will remain in custody. They will undergo a pre-sentence investigation, and then they will come back here to the courthouse in downtown Fort Worth for their sentencing on June 18th. Back to you in the studio.
All right, our thanks to you, Scoop Jefferson, live in Fort Worth. And the former Dallas Police Association president has agreed to surrender his peace officer license. It's part of a plea deal he made in connection to a deadly crash last year. 1 year ago this weekend, 25-year-old Atiana Washington was hit and killed in a crash on Northwest Highway. The former president of the Dallas Police Association, Jaime Castro, was listed as a passenger in the vehicle involved in the crash. He retired earlier this year after being put on administrative leave following the crash. As part of the deal, Castro will plead guilty to making a false statement to police, surrender his badge, and serve a year of deferred probation. New tonight, we are learning more about the man shot and killed by police in the parking garage of Dallas Children's Hospital. Turns out he was a convicted felon who tricked people into thinking he was law enforcement and even hired Dallas PD officers in the past. Senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez has more.
It ended here in this parking garage at Children's Medical Center. A suspect shot and killed by Dallas SWAT after officers say he pointed a gun at them Wednesday night. But what investigators found inside the vehicle and what they now know about the suspect set off alarm bells for Dallas police officers. Dallas police hasn't released the suspect's name, but multiple sources say the suspect is a convicted felon who owned a security company and was posing as a police officer, even hiring off-duty Dallas police officers to work for him.
It's a very continuing investigation because everybody's wanting to know exactly how did this happen and how do we prevent this, from ever occurring again.
At least 2 Dallas police associations sent out emails to their members warning them. In the message, the associations told officers the suspect was a contractor for a company called Roll Call, a company used by Dallas police officers to sign up for off-duty work. The president of the Dallas Police Association says officers were hired through Roll Call to work off-duty jobs for the suspect at hotels, banks, and other businesses, believing the suspect's company was legitimate.
Manipulated several different things at a very high level to be able to produce identification and also go through the same verification process that we do to appear as a law enforcement officer.
Roll Call told us the individual in question was never a Roll Call employee and went on to say in a statement, at no point was this individual able to access or disseminate the personal data or personally identifiable information of any person on the platform, and that the company is cooperating with DPD's investigation. Officers are concerned because they provided some of their financial information and social security numbers.
Our officers are definitely very concerned because they want to make sure that when they provide their information, that it is protected.
Sources say investigators found weapons in his vehicle and he carried a weapon while working off duty, including protection details for politicians. The question remains, how was he able to dupe so many people? In Dallas, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
It is a huge weekend in DFW. Tens of thousands are headed to Arlington to check out the Grand Prix, and the big Dallas St. Patrick's Day parade and festival is tomorrow, not to mention spring break. Let's get to senior meteorologist Jesse Hawila with a look at where things stand weather-wise.
Well, we do have a WFAA weather alert day in effect starting Sunday night, and that'll last through Monday morning. We have a strong cold front that's coming in this weekend, but your Saturday plans completely fine. In fact, Saturday's a really nice day, a little breezy for sure. But by Sunday afternoon, it's going to be very windy. Winds will be gusting up to 45 miles per hour. We will have a light freeze early Monday morning for parts of North Texas. And then Monday morning, wind chills will be in the 20s. Stay updated on the forecast. Make sure you have some warm clothes for Monday morning and have WFAA Plus downloaded to your TV. So your weekend plans, like I said, they're not terrible. 82 Saturday, a little breezy, winds out of the south 15 to 30. Now Sunday, if you have outdoor plans in the afternoon through the evening, I will tell you, it's not going to be great. That's because the cold front comes into the Metroplex around 2 o'clock. Winds immediately behind it will be gusting 45 plus miles per hour. So Sunday afternoon and evening, just downright windy with highs in the middle 80s, and those temperatures will crash Sunday night. And like I said, a freeze is possible Monday morning. We'll talk more about how long the winds will last and when we see a big warm up in the 14-day. It's all coming up.
All right, thank you, Jesse. Let's take a live look at Dallas-Fort Worth International as people get spring break underway. Busy, but could be busier. On top of the large crowds we're expecting, we are also watching the situation with TSA. The people who work security just missed their first full paycheck as part of a partial government shutdown. It's contributed to some serious bottlenecks as they call out at airports across the nation. In fact, travelers are hoping to avoid situations like this one. At Austin's Bergstrom International this morning, the security line was so long it spilled outside of the terminal. Travelers were advised to show up 3 hours early for their flight. Now to a live look in Lebanon. Amid rising conflict in the Middle East, tonight the Pentagon says it is dealing with the oil situation, with Iran effectively blockading the Strait of Hormuz, the portal for 1/5 of the world's oil supply. And of course, that's what's impacting gas here at home. Here's a look at average prices in Texas, according to AAA. The cost of a gallon rose about 3 cents from yesterday. That's a more than 30-cent increase from a week ago. Tonight, the city of Grand Prairie is mourning the loss of a longtime city council member. The city has revealed Mike Del Bosque has died. A South Grand Prairie High School grad, he served the city's 3rd district since 2017. In a statement, the city said he served his community proudly. Officials did not immediately provide a cause of death. Well, tonight, part of North Texas has been transformed into a racetrack for the Arlington Grand Prix. It is a huge event that has taken months of preparation for, and it's finally a reality. Mike Leslie is live at the track tonight, previewing a weekend of races. So cool, Mike.
Hey, Izzy, thanks. Yeah, we are just winding down with day number 1 here at the Grand Prix of Arlington. They've got a concert rounding out the night after 3 rounds worth of qualifying for some of the 6 races that we will see play out here over the course of the weekend. We are now high above the horseshoe, the portion of the 14-turn, 2.73-mile course that snakes its way around AT&T Stadium through the parking lot here behind me. This horseshoe part winding around Collins Street and on to Randall Mill as part of a wild course that will be fun to watch over the course of this weekend. Again, 6 races in total. Qualifying for 3 of the lower level races took place over the course of this afternoon. We will see qualifying for the big race on Sunday, tomorrow afternoon at 1:35, amid 3 different races and other qualifying events as well. Then 3 more races on Sunday. The IndyCar Series event will have a warm-up on Sunday at 9 a.m., then another race at 10 before the big race. The IndyCar Series race rounds out the weekend starting at 11:30 on Sunday morning. It's an incredible scene out here in Arlington. It's wild to see a setting that is so commonly just parking lot for a game at AT&T Stadium, now part of the course. It's kind of a sight to behold, and I imagine as the weekend progresses, it will get cooler and cooler to watch these races play out. Back to you.
Yeah, they're talking some 80,000 people out there this weekend. That's huge. Thanks, Mike. And